Hello everyone, welcome to ADTVM.
Yes. So now we are going to do the Booster Build Up series, and this is Build Up 2, and they have just completed the second chapter. So if you have not yet watched those videos, those are really great. So you can watch up them in my on my channel. Okay. So just before we get to doing the exercise, I want to tell the illustrated exercise of this chapter are two games. So of which analysis you have to do, and I already have done the analysis. So I've just set them on in a PGN, and I will be giving the link below, so you can tap on it and get the games. So as I just pointed in earlier videos, I am going to put all the important stuff like okay, I've given an example there. So in this chapter, king should be active. For example, in the second chapter is understanding end games. So the king should be active. That's just an example. So if the king should be active, then there will be some puzzles according to that rule in this chapter. So you can just by heart those rules or remember them in a game. So I'll giving them in a list in this. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, in this chapter we won't have any puzzle solving session, as these puzzles they have said that they are extremely difficult. So I'll try to explain them to you, and if you really want to solve them, you can solve them anytime by pausing the video. Okay, so after looking at this position as usual for a while, I can see that the black rooks are quite better as they have open files, well, semi-open files, and the white, okay, one of the white rook is kind of cramped. The bishop is okay. It's a good bishop as it's centralized and everything, and the pawn chain, both sides have a nice pawn chain, a healthy pawn structure. So in this position, the best move is pawn to c5. This move forces your opponent to play pawn to d5, thus giving up the better pawn structure. The white passed pawn is safely blockaded by the king. As if even if this pawn tries to come, my king can come there in time. So the opponent captured bishop into rook into bishop, and now the first move d5. In any case, it's good to double up the rooks, so both sides do that. And now, as there is no need to stop the capture, as if the opponent captures, okay, sorry, if the opponent captures, and if you try to play something like into f8, then opponent can capture, and after okay, the opponent won't capture. That's one thing. So after a few pieces like this, and maybe you can play that. And now you can really on this pawn. So after this position is equal and you have more chances of drawing this game. Okay, sorry. So we had this position on the board, and now we played e takes d5 and c takes d5. Okay, if rook takes d5 comes, then we can play back rook takes d5 and then c takes d5, because you have to keep a passed pawn. Otherwise, it's really difficult to even draw the game, as this pawn is passed and the king can come near it very quickly. Okay, you don't need to go like that. Oops, sorry, and you can go here. So yeah, that's the deal. So c takes d5, and now we have king f8, king f2, king a7, king e3, f5, blockading the e5, e4 square for the opponent's king, king f3, king f6, h3, rook d6, rook d3, b5, and now white can black can create an kind of pawn storm on this side. You can use your king, so you can probably rather it's a better position for black. So it's actually equal, but it's fair, you know. Okay, you have to start a pawn storm on the king side, but it's fair. I thought on the queen side. Anyway, that's not a bad idea either. So now let's get to the next puzzle. Okay, in this puzzle, so what can we see here? Okay, it's white to play, so that's one thing for sure. Okay, I would like to play f3 as after take takes. It's your chance, and I think my king is pretty much safe. So, and the rook is also nicely protecting these 2 pawns. But in this position, sorry, there are no threats on the opponent position. So I think that you can try b3 instead of f3. As after b3 you can play a4. So I'll just see that a4, king g7, and now just my brother back there. That's why I got a little confused. So b3, king g7, and now you can play a4. So if b4, then it creates an immediate weakness on the square a5. So you can attempt to take that pawn with rook to b5. And let's just put on the engine for a moment. Uh, you if you even take that, I can always play bishop to b6, and now your pawn is pretty much lost. So it's also showing a win up for white. So better would be just to take and then take. So but still a5 stays a weakness. And so king f6, bishop d2, targeting the weakness, rook d4. Okay, rook d4 kind of seems like an extremely bad move, because you really can't do anything, because rook to b4 is coming. So you can even try that way, rook b5, rook b5, a b5. That's fine. So next puzzle, it's white to play. Yeah, this is a very interesting position just for the moment. Okay, I have a light squared bishop, so which can only travel on light squares. So that means my opponent's stuff should be the most of the opponent's stuff I should keep on the light squares. And in this position, the key pawn is the h5 pawn, and luckily it is on the light square. So I just want to keep it on the light square. So I take h4. So now my king has like this arms. So if the opponent king decides to go this way, I can go this way. And if the opposite king decides to go this way, I can go that way. So that's a pretty much fair plan. So h4, king g6, and bishop e2. So just keeping constant pressure on that pawn. And now whatever I try to do, I'm just going to reach and take that pawn. Okay, so we can see at the instant position, after I have given my justification to play h5, I think h4, everyone will think h4 is the best. Okay, this is the most fantastic puzzle I have solved yet. So, in this chapter, this is the only tactical puzzle or the main tactical puzzle you will get to solve. So, those who want to just try to have some challenging tactics, this is one of the easiest puzzles, but one of the most fun puzzles. So, you can try this. For those who just want to enjoy the show, the move is rook to g5. So, I'm trying to trade rooks, and not just trying to trade rooks. I have this control over this complete file, and whatsoever you cannot have the control over this file. So let me show you why. So your rook has to control the. If you want to control the file, you have to do it with the rook. So if you try to control the file now, yes, finally, I got the control of the file. But opponent will say thank you and I have the queen. So it's actually impossible to take the control of the file. So rook a3 is the best move considered, and now I simply can go for push. And now black will try to take their king back into game, but we can just approach the pawn with our king, strengthen our position, and now it will be easier way. You can also take on uh, g6 and then h5. So that's also a nice possible option. Okay, so down to number 8. The answer of this problem is a very weird kind of move, because just have to take a knight behind and then replace it on d3. Now your placement of your knight is very nice, so you can attack with it. So knight e1, knight c3. Black also trying to place his pieces nicely, and now I can play knight to d3, which is a better square for my knight. So knight to e2, also a better place, and now king to c4. The knight comes back to c3, as if I manage to play bishop to d4 here, the knight won't be able to retreat and it can be captured. So knight to c3, and if it was my game, I might have played bishop to d4, as you just have to trade pieces here, and I'm the one who has the tempo. I'm the one who has the extra pawn, so I can try to break through with g4. I have done that, but I would have done that. But the best move in this position is a5. As after ba5, bishop a7, you we are like, okay, I'm fine. We both have passed pawns, but pawn is just sorry, my pawn is just 3 steps away from promoting, whereas your pawn is a long four. So opponent can lay knight to a4, which is a wonderful move, but actually if it was a game I wouldn't care less. I would have gone for b6, but the best move again possible here is king to 3, just kicking the knight, and after kicked I can play b6 and take the full point home. Okay, puzzle number 9. It's white to play. One of the principles I'm going to tag down in the description below is limit the activity of your opponent's pieces. So two ideas I can see here are bishop to a3, which will be met with b5, which will be a discovered check. So it will be a clear win if opponent allows you to do that. But the best move here is h4, as it stops the knight from going anywhere. We have controlled the g5 square. The knight has no option to come on f4. Sorry, come on f4 or d4, and d4, as if you come to d4, I can just take, and after you take, I can also take back with the king, and now I am seriously easily a pawn up, and the engine also shows a clear way. Okay, h5 and bishop to c3. And by the way, this diagram looks really nice, so if anyone wants to take a screenshot of it. Okay, so let's just move on. With h5 is the best move possible for black and bishop to c3. And sometimes I really wonder why is the problem? What is the problem? I can set up threats for my opponent, and it's like, okay, I'm good. What does the engine suggest? Okay, in this position, the engine also suggests bishop to c3. It's the third line also. You can increase the lines. Okay, it also suggests bishop to c3. Okay, it doesn't suggest bishop to a3, as after bishop to e3 you can simply play king to e8. But in my opinion, I might have gone for this as it looks better. So bishop to c3, king to e8, the same move. Rook b7, king d8, rook b8 check, king e7, and now b5, keeping the rook. Rook d8 check, and now king c5, making further progress with your pieces. And now you have a small threat of playing bishop to b4. I know it doesn't work as knight to c5 block can come, but you can play rook to c8 and it all gets complicated and you might win a free pawn here. So the best move is knight to c5 just to take precaution before the threat actually comes. So it is always said, let's set safety first. So better safe than sorry, actually I meant just got confused. So knight to c5 is the key move here, and after bishop to b4, rook to d4 check, king to c3, rook d3 check, king c2, rook and rook d4. I have rook to b7, and which is the key winning move. And now let me just show you why. Okay, I'll need the help of the engine. Of course, okay, I don't rather support king to d8 or f8, but I think rook to d7 is a valid move. As okay, no, rook to d7 can't be here. Sorry about that. Simply a free piece.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, I understand that. The Google Assistant popped in. Okay, so let's just move on to the next person. So 2,10. It's black to play. Okay, here it is said make your king active as it's the end game. You might not feel a little safe over here, but you just have to make your king active. And the king has a clear path of becoming active, whereas the opponent king is like, what can I do here? So into f8 and bishop to c2, clearing the path. Sorry, just trying to clear the path for king 2. Okay, bye bye. Wait. King to e7, f3, a4. Okay, a4 was a breakthrough, and in this position, if you take back, you can pin the bishop, and you might have a good game. You will have a good game. And so opponent plays king to f2, and I said I don't care. I'm going to take, and after you take back with the bishop, I can play now. Okay, sorry. After you take back with the a pawn, I can play perhaps maybe some moves like to b4 followed by rook d to b8, and now if you have tried to protect it with the b1 rook b1, then I can try to play bishop to a4. It's complicated, but it's playable. So f5 here, king to e2, rook to b4, the same idea, king to d3, bishop to a4, and now at this moment c4 and a2 both are extremely weak, and I say I'm going to target them. So takes and just hitting the weakness, and now I can, okay, now I can check you, and you have two options here. So the first option is rook to b3, and after that you can play rook to b8, which is completely winning. And you can play king to e2, but I think that is way too much dull. You can also proceed with d5. So that's it. Second last puzzle. So it's white to play. Flip d4. Okay, I just feel too much tempting to play f4, but it's of no use. And just one thing to notice in this position is you are in kind of a zoom zone. You can't play a good move because you don't have a good move because uh, if you try to take your king back, my king will take the opposition and opposition more space and will win. And you can't really push any of your pawns. So the best option to continue in this position is only to repeat with bishop b7, bishop a8, bishop b7, bishop a8. So here we need to build an attack. So f bishop b7, and now I have to create a fast pawn on the king side as my opponent's development is restricted. So you can keep on following dancing there. It's going to take. Okay, here there are two options. Both are equally good. You can also take king takes h5 and also f4. If I was playing, I wouldn't take the risk and I would just take h5 pawn. But here we can continue with f4, and after bishop e7 we can play bishop to f3, which is complete winning move. This pawn falls and we can take that with the bishop. And let me just show you what can happen here. To repeat, you don't still have any. Okay, no. Don't you like this move? Okay, here you can try to proceed with this move, but I think that I can play king to g7, and if you go takes now. Okay, you can play king to d7, but it's not going to be worth. I'm going to promote anyhow. So last but not the least puzzle, it's black to play. Looks like a tactical position. I see two moves here, which are queen to d4 and queen to d3. So let's consider queen to d4 first. Okay, bishop f3, king to g7, making active, and bishop to g2. Okay, no, not king to g2. Bishop. Now your bishop is strong and your position is solid, so it's difficult to win. So better idea is queen to d3, and now you can play king to g2. Plans of bishop to f3. As after bishop to f3, your position is solid and it's difficult to win. So I'm going to try to pin you, and you can undo, but I can just take the pawn with check and it's a winning position altogether. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. For more content like this, please subscribe to the channel and have fun. So I'll be coming back with the third chapter. The third chapter has a lot of tactics, so you will enjoy it for sure. So this is Bobby Fisher Teaches Chess, and I am Advait, and I am signing off.